writing just goes by so fast for me. It's so easy to read. It's so easy to get into. It's addicting. So, welcome to a new state, actually. Surprise.
Talked really well with each other, like it just seemed good.
Oh, it's recording. I'm watching Love Island.
We did.
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. We are going to be doing one of my favorite reading vlogs to do, and that is my continuing series reading vlog. So in the past I've done ones that are from my monthly TBR and ones that are just like series that I want to finish, and I haven't decided what this one's gonna be yet, so we'll just have to see. I am in between, I think like the last one I checked was like 15 series. That's so many series! I really want to chop that list down a little bit, so I want to just see how many series we can completely finish, and there are a few series where I only have one more book left, so we're going to focus on those series. But first, we are going to be reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. I actually just picked this book up randomly like 2 nights ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll just read the first chapter and see how I feel. I'm now on page 185. I don't know how that happened. This book, Elsie Silver's writing just goes by so fast for me. It's so easy to read. It's so easy to get into. It's addicting. So before I know it, I'm on page 185, and I'm also reading it on my Kindle. It's like Kindle Unlimited, and I feel like I read really fast on my Kindle. So this is the 4th book in the Chestnut Springs series. We have 1 book left after this, but this is the 4th one. It is Theo and the Winter's book, which I knew. I forget what video it was in, but I knew that Winter was gonna get her own book. I think it was in Heartless. I forgot that happened in the first book. Interesting. I don't know anything about the next couples, but is one of them gonna be Winter? I would love that. And this is that book. It is actually, and this is not a spoiler, before you even start the book, it says a small town secret baby romance, which I don't think I ever read a small town secret baby romance, or even like a secret baby romance in general. I didn't quite know what that meant. I get it now. So basically what happens is this is about Winter, and she is in a relationship with this guy who is just like a jerk, honestly, that works at her hospital, and she leaves because she can't stand him anymore. They can't stand to live together anymore, so she leaves. She goes to Chestnut Springs to start to heal because her sister, her half-sister, Summer, is there, and she wants to get to know her because they have like a little bit of a strained relationship throughout their life. But now Winter really wants to get closer to Summer, and she wants to step away from like the fast-paced, busy life of the hospital and the more calm life of Chestnut Springs. Simple looks so cute right now. Wait, let me see if I can show you. Look at him. He's playing with his little spring. He's so cute. Anyway, Winter meets Theo, who we have heard of him. I think it was even in like the first book of Chestnut Springs, Flawless, because he is Rhett, who that book is about, Rhett and Summer. He is Rhett Eaton's protege. I guess like Rhett is his mentor. He's a little bit younger than Rhett. He's his mentor in like the bull riding circuit. So that's how we know Theo. Theo and Winter meet her first night into Chestnut Springs. One thing leads to another, and Winter gets pregnant. She tries to tell him, but he doesn't really give a good response. Now we're flashing forward 18 months later, where baby Vivi is born. Theo has come back to Chestnut Springs, so we're sort of unraveling that mystery of why Theo's response was so different from what we have seen from Theo. So that is what we're unraveling right now. It is so good. I feel like I said this about like all of Chestnut Springs books, but it's true. Like if you watch my top book recs, this was like in my like favorite series. And I think that Elsie Silver was also one of my favorite authors, and it's just, I love her writing. I just got her old new book. It's Off to the Races. I think it was her first series, but they've just been like traditionally published. So I just bought that at Target. So once I'm done with Chestnut Springs, I'm gonna read Wild Love, and then we're gonna go on to Off to the Races. But yeah, that is what this is about. I have a little mirror cover. It is so cute. It's like a cowboy boot and then a baby cowboy boot. I think that is adorable. That's where we're at. I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking seeing like a different side of Winter, a more motherly, soft side, because we kind of only see her hard side, I guess, up until this point. Oh, we're gonna keep reading. Chestnut Springs men with a baby. Gets me every time. Oh my gosh. Hello. You'll have to excuse the weird lighting and also my sweat. I literally just came back from a run. I wanted to check in. I am still reading Reckless. I just got to chapter 19, 42% of the way through Reckless. I really like it, and I wanted to say that, I mean, my feelings are still the same about it, and I feel like love reading Chestnut Springs not only because it's summertime and it's like the country romance vibe is like perfect for summertime, but also I feel like Elsie Silver does a great job of romanticizing the little moments and like the simple quote-unquote life. I don't know, I feel like sometimes, especially, I had this like thought I was reading, I feel like sometimes you see everyone in like the highlight reel and all that stuff of doing all these amazing trips and amazing things, and I feel like Chestnut Springs does a really good job at just like romanticizing the simple life. And I feel like romanticizing the simple life is a really big trend now, and it has been for a little bit, and I feel like that might be why Chestnut Springs is so popular. It just, reading these books makes me want to stay on a farm, live next to all of my best friends on the same farm in the same plot of land, and just meet for summers on the porch and backyard parties. And it's just like the simple things. Like, life doesn't have to be all these fantastical moments all the time. It's like it's really like the simple things that I feel like Elsie Silver does a great job at describing, giving you the feeling of that like quote-unquote simpler life, good old country family, stuff like that. It's just, and I feel like it's not like the coastal granddaughter vibe, but it is the same sentiment. The coastal granddaughter vibe is like living on a beach, but like riding on a bike on the boardwalk with your friends, getting ice cream, just like the life's little moments. And I feel like Chestnut Springs is about sitting on the porch after a big family meal. That's the scene that I just saw. Going home and your best friend is next door. And it's just, I don't know. It's just a thought that I had, that I think that that's why this series specifically is so comforting to me and why I love these series so much. It has that like comforting, warm, family vibe, and I love it. Those are my little Chestnut Springs thoughts. But I just want to say that because I feel like as I was reading this, I was like, why is this book so much easier to read than some of the other books that I'm just zipping through this book? I could just sit here and read chapter after chapter after chapter. Like, what is it about this book? And I think that what I just said is like a big part of it. It's just like cozy. I'm liking the budding romance between Winter and Theo. Theo is defending Winter left and right because Rhett is kind of coming at her because Rhett is Summer's husband, and Winter has been mean to Summer basically for Summer's entire life. And we just kind of found out where her mindset was, like where Winter's mindset was when they were growing up, which is interesting. Rhett is like regarding her with, I don't know, criticism a lot. He doesn't really like her, but then Theo is like defending her left and right. I've always liked Winter. I liked her when you told me stories about her before I met her. I liked her the first time I laid eyes on her. I liked her when she yelled something that I can't say on the internet. Rhett's face is a mix of confusion and disbelief. And I especially like her now. I'm not sad about that's my cross to bear. So if you're looking for a person to commiserate with about how awful she is, you need to find someone else. And it's like, damn, okay, Theo. Put him right in his place. But yeah, I'm really liking this book. good morning everyone. If you hear the dishwasher, it's going. I need to do dishes, okay? It's been a bit and I needed to do dishes. I'm gonna apologize for that, but you might hear the dishwasher going. We have some updates for you, or I have some updates for you. I did finish Reckless. So I give it, I think, a 4.25, 4.5. It wasn't my favorite. I will say I liked the resolution of the conflict. Like, I feel like sometimes the resolutions of third act conflicts are very irritating, and this one wasn't. And I liked how they handled it. It showed growth in both characters, and it showed that there are struggles but they can overcome them, and I think that that is exactly what a third act conflict should do. And the way that they did it showed growth in the character, where I feel like sometimes it doesn't show growth in the character, like a resolution to a conflict in a romance, and it's just like, this is the solution. But I feel like she did a good job. That being said, I loved their romance, and I loved how protective he was over her, because no one's really stood up for her. She's used to being like that strong, independent woman. You know, he was there and he showed up for her, and he didn't do it in like an overbearing way. He was just there. It's very like Black Cat, Golden Retriever type vibe. Also really liked in this book how we got a lot of like familial reconciliation. So this is the fourth book, the second to last book in the Chestnut Springs series. And I feel like Elsie Silver is really like, throughout her book, she's like wrapping up things that are going throughout the book. And I feel like that is going to be so satisfying after I read Hopeless, which is the last book in the series. I feel like it's gonna be so satisfying because a lot, not even just like the romance plot lines, but a lot of the familial and just like other issues that these characters have had throughout the books, I feel like they're gonna be resolved by the end of the book, so I'm excited about that. I feel like the way they reconciled that really added a lot to the story and to Winter's character, and showed more growth than in just, you know, her and Theo. So I really liked that. I appreciated that. I definitely did use 2 tab colors for this book. That's Chestnut Springs. We are one book down. Can check that off our series list. The next book that I've started reading is actually the one by Kira Cass. This is book 3 in the Selection series. This is an old YA dystopian. If you've been following along for the past couple of months, I've been like slowly making my way through the Selection series, like reading like 1 book a month pretty much. It's nothing amazing. It's a YA dystopian book, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be life-changing, but it's short and it's fun, and this was super popular like, you know, 10 so years ago, and I think that 10 so years ago, if I read this book, it would have been one of my top books ever. It is a good story. In this book, we're really focusing on more of like Maxon and America, seeing like issues in their relationship, but they're like working through them. You're seeing America's growth and her displaying qualities that you would need as a queen of Ilya. We don't know who she's gonna end up with still. I mean, based on this series, I'm guessing it's gonna be her. It's not a spoiler because it's just a guess, but based on like this cover, I'm guessing she's gonna end up being queen. That's my prediction. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen because there is like a love triangle going on in here. I like the plot line. I think it's very interesting, dystopian type world. The rebels are becoming more prominent in this book, where the story is kind of like reaching ahead in this book. That's interesting to me as well. I'm actually on chapter 11, page 87. So those are our updates. I think I am going to read a little bit more of the one. Oh, they did just have a really cute scene of them like in the rain, which I thought was very adorable. Also, I am watching Bridgerton for the first time right now, so I feel like this is the perfect book. It's like Bridgerton vibes also. So chapter 26, thoughts. I'm pretty sure that this is the last one, like America's story, and the next couple books are gonna be like related but different. That's I think. This is just a lot more storyline and plot driven, and the romance is there, but it doesn't take up like the whole thing, which I feel like is refreshing after like a full romance. There was a really cute scene with like all the remaining girls, like the elite. There was a really cute scene with them. We are now 75% of the way through. There's just so many things. Suddenly, like in the last 20% of the book, things go crazy. And I feel like that's what's happening, what we're leading up towards. But I am enjoying it. Yeah, that sounded weird when it came out of my mouth, but that's what I mean. So, welcome to a new state, actually. Surprise. No, I'm kidding, I'm just traveling. I think I have a 24-hour vlog on my travel that should be up by now. Go check that one out if you haven't. Also, I have a whole other vlog that I'm gonna put out about my whole entire trip because I am going to Asia for 3 weeks. And I'm so excited, but I did only pack a carry-on and a backpack for 3 weeks. So, it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm excited. Anyway, that's not this video. This is our series video. And actually, I've been doing a lot of reading because I've had like a 25-hour travel flight times. One of the books that I'm reading is one that I think I started reading in this video. It's been so long. I've had like the videos that I've been recording are so scattered and everywhere, but I'm pretty sure that I recorded me reading Finale by Stephanie Garber. And that is this book. I'm actually reading it on my Kindle, so I don't have the physical book with me right now. I wanted to give you updates on it. I am 50% of the way through on my Kindle. So this is the last book of the Caraval series. I am loving it so much. So Stephanie Garber is famous for her Caraval series, but I feel like mainly she's been really famous like lately for her Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. It's in the same world as Once Upon a Broken Heart, Caraval is, and it came first. So I decided to read the Caraval trilogy first, and then I'm going to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Give you an update because I don't think I talked to you once about this book yet. I love it because I love Stephanie Garber's writing. Like I've been saying this, I can record it. I think I have other videos of the other 2 books in the series. I just love her writing. It's so atmospheric and the way she describes things is so beautiful. Like I feel like as I'm reading the book, I feel like I am there in that setting, and the settings are always so pretty. So basically Caraval is a night circus. This last book does not take place during Caraval, but it has all our favorite characters. I'm not going to say too much because it is the last book in the trilogy and there have been a lot, spoilers revealed in the beginning of this book that have been like questions throughout the rest of the 2 books, so I'm not going to say too much. Love that we're getting dual point of view of our 2 main characters. I love that they both have their own like romances going on. I love our 2 male main characters, which again I'm going to be very vague in describing Finale just because I don't want to give any spoilers at all. Have been liking the trend this book has taken. If you've read it, you know it's different than the last 2 books in terms of setting, in terms of plot, in terms of like everything that sort of they've been working towards in the 2 books are coming to a head in the last book, as you would expect. So a lot of things are happening all at once. I actually had to stop reading it on the plane and I read The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, which I can also update you on because it is also a series. Just because I feel like I need to take myself out of the fantasy world because it is so involved, and her magic systems and her like characters and just like even her lore that she put in place in this series is so intense. I need to like take a step out of it, so I read The Legacy for a little bit and I'll update you that on my alarm went. I have to go check out, but I am gonna finish this little clip First, love finale. I do love our 2 point of views we're getting. I love Stephanie Garber's writing. We have good villains too. Like, I believe these villains actually exist. If you know, there's several of them. I think that they are great villains, and I like their backstories too. It also introduced us to a very famous character from Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is awesome. So yeah, that's finale. Going very well so far. And now the legacy, real quick. I am on, let me see, because I am packing so light, I did not bring any physical books with me. Okay, so I'm actually on chapter 16, 34% of the way through the legacy. Again, I'm reading on my Kindle, so this is the book I'm reading. And this is our novella book. So it's the last book in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I really liked the first and third books. I was like so-so on the fourth book, and I did not like the second book, like hardly at all. This is like our novella novel. We visit back with our 4 couples from the other 4 books, and they all have their own little story of like where they are now type of thing. And of course, because they're all best friends, we see our other characters in our other character stories. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if that made sense. It is very light and easy to read. Because they're like novella style, it's not drawn out and everything. It's just like I could finish a novella in like less than an hour, maybe even less than 45 minutes. Because Elle Kennedy is just so easy to read. There are 4 things. 1 is the pact, 1's the proposal, 1 is the wedding, and I think 1's the legacy, or 1's the pregnancy. But there are 4 main big life events that each of our 4 couples are dealing with, and we get their point of views for all of those things. I don't think it's like a necessary, because it is a novella. Novels, I feel like I could tell that, I don't know, as she was writing off campus, like her writing had just gotten so much better from this novella. Like, I just enjoy reading this novella much more than I did like the second book. Like, I feel like the writing wasn't as good in the second book, but you could tell she's definitely grown and everything like that in this 5th book, and I really like it. So that's the legacy. That is the finale. Hopefully we finish these 2 on the plane, and I will have a wrap up for you soon. Let's go check out. Hello everyone, welcome to a new day. Welcome to several weeks in the future actually from the last clip. I am back from my trip in Asia. Obviously the last time I updated you, I'm pretty sure was in my hotel room on the way to Asia, but I am back now, back at our library. I finished the 2 books that we are reading in this video, so I wanted to update you on my final thoughts for those ones. I finished these both on the plane because the plane trip was 24 hours long. Literally, I have video about it. You can go watch it. But I read this on the plane trip. It is the last book in the Off-Campus series, so now we can officially check off and eliminate the Off-Campus series from my series I'm in the middle of list. And this one is 4 novellas of our 4 main couples from the entire Off-Campus series, of them all having big moments, following our 4 main couples in 4 main parts of their relationship after college. It was really fun to go back into the off-campus world, go revisit our characters. With Elle Kennedy's books, I feel like they are sometimes a little bit harder for me to get through just because the writing is a little bit more young adult. I feel like I am a little bit out of my college romance era, at the moment at least. I think I'm gonna rate this maybe like a 3 just because it wasn't like amazing. But you know, it was fun. If you read the whole Off-Campus series, then it's fun to get a glimpse into what they're doing in the future. The next one I finished is Finale, which is the 3rd book in the Caraval series and the last book, and it was amazing. Honestly, 5 stars. 5 stars I'm rating this one. So good. Like, I have said this in the past, I am obsessed with Stephanie Garber's writing. I'm obsessed with how atmospheric her writing is. She just describes things in such a dreamlike fairy tale way, but it's like a night circus, so it's sort of like an underlying sinister element to it, and I loved it so much. The last few chapters just like went off. Like, so much happened in the last few chapters. I feel like we could have gotten maybe a little bit less rushed, but it's a big book to begin with, so like I get it. I loved how our story wrapped up. I'm gonna be a little bit vague because it is the last book in the series. I love how our 2 main characters ended up, if you know what I mean. There was one specific scene. It's the scene where one of our girl main characters goes into a room and there's a mural on the wall. And just the whole way that Stephanie Garber described that experience and that proclamation, it was beautiful. I was blushing on the airplane. And it was so fun getting back into the world of Caraval and finishing the world of Caraval. And now I feel like I am justified in moving on to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy finally, we're gonna start that one because we finished the Caraval series. I highly recommend that you read this fantasy. Caraval is like a game because of the events of the last couple of books being sort of expanded to the real world, which I thought was really cool. I really love the magic system. I love the fates. Just that whole idea from the cards and everything. I love how Stephanie Garber did that, and it was just, I just love this world. I love it so much. So that concludes this finishing our series. It was gonna be series on our TBR. It still was. These series were on my TBR, but it was for my TBR for like July. So you know what? It's fine. We're counting it. So these are the 4 books that we read in today's video. The One, The Legacy, Finale, and Reckless. I feel like if I had to pick, these 2 would be my favorites. And honestly, it's a romance and a fantasy. I feel like I can't compare them. But I just love these 2. I love Chestnut Springs, just the whole series, and I love the Caraval series. So these are definitely my favorites of our video. That is gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!